Zotero was okay, so easy life, nothing too difficult. But for those of us that like hard things, welcome. I'm going to turn off my video so that when you get the recordings, you'll not have a video obliterating part of the screen. So welcome everyone. I can see 31 participants. I can see Aisha Pindiga, welcome. Aliyu Haider, Ama, Basi Ekanem, Catherine Okeke, Chief Okeke, welcome. Charity Nneka, Dr. Ugochukwu, Hawa, Henry Agala. I hope I'm properly pronouncing your name. Ikenna Hadiole, Issa, Hassan Saidu, Karima, Khadija Abubakar, Michael Ubugu, Madinat Muhammad, Nafisa MM, Obari Mary Odia, Olatunji Atoyebi Olayinka, Onyilo, Otetubi Olayinka, Pearl, Ridwan, Sally Hassan, Samuel Richard, Steve, Unebu Patricia, Uwemedimo Nkanta, and Zoom user. You all are welcome. We have 35 participants right now. So we're going to go ahead and start. Others will catch up. For last week we had Zotero, how to download and cite with Zotero. I hope some of you were on that Zoom call. Today we're going to tackle Mendeley. Mendeley is a bit tougher. It's a bit more finicky compared with Zotero. So as I said, Mendeley is for people who like hard things. So we're going to commence. So at the end of this presentation, you all should be able to download and use Mendeley Desktop. There's a difference between Mendeley Desktop and Mendeley Reference Manager. We're focusing on desktop because it allows you to be able to work offline. So it allows you to be able to use Mendeley Desktop to manage citations in academic research writing with immediate effect. So immediately after this session, you should be able to comment citing with Mendeley. Just a little historical background. Students eventually acquired Dutch academic company that's by Elsevier acquired how much Mendeley was acquired. Let me see your comments. My voice is breaking, says Aliyu. Can you all hear me? Am I audible enough? If it's breaking, please let me know. Okay, so it seems like my network is a little shaky. I hope it clears out. It was the same one I used last. Okay, it's better now. Very good. All right. So I was introducing. It's still breaking. Says Unebu. It's better. Indiga. Okay. So I can proceed, right? So I was just asking that. Do you know how much it cost Elsevier to acquire Mendeley from these PhD students? I want to see your comments in the comment section. So let me know how much. Yes, Okwi Odedo, I agree with you. I'm going to do better, yes. I noticed that too. So it's something I'm watching out for in this presentation. Thank you. So I'm waiting to see $5,000 have Samuel. How would they acquire a whole Mendeley for $5,000? You collect it. And there are 3 PhD students too. That's small money, shikini money. Any ideas? How much do you think Mendeley was acquired? No suggestions. Are you people awake? Are you with me? I hope I'm not breaking. Any guesses? All right, we can't stay here all day. But it was said to have been acquired for £65 million. So initially it was open access, but now it's a proprietary software. There's a lot of fear that some of these features of Mendeley are going to to appear behind a paywall. You might have to start paying for, to acquire some services. So Reference Manager was introduced in 2019, which was cloud-based. So Mendeley, when I first downloaded Mendeley in desktop, I could work offline. It was easy peasy. Then when they introduced Reference Manager, because it was cloud-based and it needed to be accessed using the internet, it didn't quite work. Personally, I think it was a huge Mendeley. I use a Reference Manager. So for this presentation, we're going to work with Mendeley Desktop. Initially, they plan to phase out Mendeley Desktop, but I guess when they listened to their customers, they decided to reinstate it. So we're going to be working with Mendeley Desktop. Please, if you have Reference Manager, we're probably going to have to delete it. All right. Okay. So once in doubt, make sure you reference. Last presentation for the term citations is very useful for students, research doctors, anybody in academia. And why do we emphasize using, any of this software? We're using this software because we need to be able to maintain credibility when we write. We need to be able to establish a reputation as, and a scholar with integrity, giving credit to whom credit is due. And it's quite serious because, the world is a global village. Some of us are jackpying. You don't want someone to go through your thesis or your dissertation and say, and accuse you of plagiarism because it taints your integrity, right? So this is the Harvard president, the first Black female Harvard president, she had to resign because they accused her of plagiarism. So it's quite serious. It's not illegal, but it's unethical because it shows that you have kidnapped someone else's ideas or speech and you're expressing it as your own. So it's seen as academic theft and it should be avoided as much as possible. It has several benefits, and I'm sure you're aware of the benefits. That's why you're here for Mendeley. It's important for us to understand, for those who weren't on the previous Zoom call, that there are different citation styles. There is the APA, there's MLA, and the rest of them. But generally, for medical and pharmaceutical sciences, we focus on Vancouver. I've actually seen a couple of theses or dissertations that used APA. So it just depends on, what your college requires. But generally for the National Postgraduate Medical College and the West African College, Vancouver is the way to go. But you can also learn APA. So there are two types of citations. We have the in-text citation and we have the bibliographic citation. So in-text citation is in the body of your work, of your writing. You're going to have to cite, who you're referring to, who actually said these things that your brackets, such as this Ellis et al. 2017. That's usually author date style, and that's common with that's the brackets, parentheses, like the next one. And when it's in this parentheses, it's also Vancouver. A lot of people do not know that. It's also Vancouver. This is also Vancouver. But it's not Vancouver superscript like this one. Then the one with the square brackets is typical of people who work in, who are writing from the engineering field. So apart from the in-text citation, which is found within the body of the text, you also have the bibliographic citation, which comes at the end of your work, usually in the references list. So that is this on the left-hand, lower left-hand of your screen. So if you're using Vancouver, it usually comes this way, numerically, according to how it appears in your in-text citation. But if you're using APA, it tends to appear this way. It's alphabetical and it has special formatting attached to it. What's the anatomy of a citation is very important for us to understand because sometimes when we use Mendeley, the referencing might not be perfect. So you might still have to go back and modify your in-text. You might have to modify your reference list, right? So it's very important that you're aware of this. This is citation of a book. For your citation, you have number one, indicating the in-text or referring to the in-text citation. Then we have the authors' names. Usually we have 6 authors. If you're using Vancouver, Rich RR. So there are no punctuations between the name, the surname, and the initials. The punctuation only comes afterwards, and it's just a comma. Then you have Fletcher, TA. After the first 6 authors, you add your etal. Then we also have the title. So after the author's names, then comes the title of the book itself. So this is Clinical Immunology Practice, Principles and Practice. Then the edition. If it's the first edition, you stay silent on that. The edition is not there. Then the place of publication, it has to be the city, not the country. It has to be the city in which it was published, then the publishers, then the year. You could also add page numbers. You also have something called book section. You know, a lot of our big books have many people who are written it, like, obstetrics and 10 teachers. So there are several chapters within these books, and in these several chapters they tend to have editors who, streamline everything together and make it into a book form. I hope I'm still audible. Please always send your comments in the chat section. So for this book section, we have Meltzer and Kaluniemi and Trent. They were the ones who wrote this particular chapter, Chromosome Alterations in Human Solid Tumors. The main book was edited by Wolgenstein and Kitzler, and the title of the big book is The Genetic Basis of Human Cancer. This is the city in which it was published, these are the publishers, this is the year it was published, and these are the page numbers. The most common one we tend to use will be journal articles. And for journal articles, okay, I hope I'm audible. If there's any challenge, please write it in the chat box. So for journal articles, we tend to have the author's name and initials. As I mentioned, you do not want to put any punctuation for Vancouver style before the comma. Then you have the next author. So this is the article title, A False Dichotomy. Then the journal name. The journal name is usually abbreviated according to the Medline abbreviations of journals. You have the year of publication here. Sometimes you could have the day and month, but it's not quite necessary. The most important thing for you to have there is the year. After that, it's separated by a semicolon, then the volume. So year, then you have volume. So the volume is 187. If it has an issue, the issue will be encased in parentheses just after the volume. Then you have a colon, then the page numbers. And for this entire section, there should be no spaces in between. So you have to be able to understand the anatomy of citation again, because sometimes the metadata generated might not be accurate, so you might need to modify that. First things first, I want to screen those of us that are here. Are you really sure that you are the Ajapako people that are ready for the wahala and hassle of Mendeley? Who has seen this cartoon? Which of you has seen this cartoon? What's the name of the cartoon? Just type it in the chat box, let me know. You guys see my screen? Oh, you're ready. Okay, so do you know this cartoon? Aladdin, Nafisa. And who is the lady in the cartoon? Aladdin, Hawa knows it. It's like it's only the ladies that watch cartoon. So what's the lady's name? What is the lady's name? Aladdin. Which one is Aladdin? Jasmine. Okay. Okay. Chama knows it too. Aladdin and Jasmine, Ejiro, all these people, all these Ajabo people, you people should leave Ajapako people for Mendeley. You're not supposed to know Aladdin and Jasmine. But anyhow, you have to work with me. Hmm? As I've mentioned before, and a lot of you actually know from personal experience, Mendeley Reference Manager can be tough, it can be problematic, it can give a lot of headache. but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't use a reference manager. I would strongly recommend that you use Mendeley Desktop. Mendeley Desktop. It allows you to be able to work offline and it tends to have less glitches. So the first thing first, we're going to ensure that we have compatibility. What you're using, the system you're using should be at least Windows 7. It can be above, but at least Windows 7. I'll take you through how you find that out. Then the MS Word, that's Microsoft Word you're using, should be at least 2016 onwards. Some people using later versions tend to have challenges with it because it's no longer compatible. Mendeley used to release different versions per year. So there are some that are no longer compatible with those old laptops. So please, we're going to walk through this together to ensure that you have at least Windows 7 and you have MS Word from 2016 onwards. If you follow all these rules, you're going to have no challenges with your Mendeley. But if you have some of this, if you start to have some problems, it's because of some of these rules that we're listing. Next thing you have to do is you have to close MS Word. If you have your MS Word open on your system right now, kindly turn it off. Close it, okay? Close it because when we're going to download Mendeley and we're going to insert the Word plugin, you need your Mendeley Word to be off, to be closed. If it's open, it might not work perfectly. So we have to ensure Windows 7, MS Word 2016 onwards, close your MS Word. You will oblige me and delete and uninstall Mendeley Reference Manager. The people who are really going to enjoy this presentation are people whose laptops are fresh, like virgin laptops in quotes. They do not have Mendeley installed at all. If you already have Mendeley Reference Manager and you download Mendeley Desktop, there's going to be a glitch. You're not going to get what you need to get. If you're lucky, it might work, but I'm trying to tell you hard and fast rules to ensure that what we are doing is going to work. You need to uninstall Mendeley Reference Manager. Lastly, you open your preferred browser and you remove the Mendeley site add-on. Mendeley site add-on is not what we're working with. So please oblige me with these. So we're going to walk through them together. So I'm going to stop sharing. Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing so that we can do these things together. We'll check whether we are using Windows 7 or MS Word, which MS Word version we have. Then we're going to uninstall Mendeley Reference Manager if we have it. If your laptops do not have these, then you're perfectly fine, good and dandy, no issues. But if your laptop already has Mendeley Reference Manager, there's going to be a clash and it's not going to work. If yours has been working and is giving you glitches and it hasn't failed you, then you open your preferred browser and remove Mendeley site. So let's stop share and share my entire screen. Oh, this says the network is still breaking. Okay, at some point. I'm so sorry about that. I don't know. And it's the same network I used previously. All right. So let's share my entire screen. Okay. Can you see my entire screen now? Just type in the chat section. Can you see my screen? Yes. Okay. Thank you. Welcome, Dr. Panwat. Okay, excellent. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to move. Let's see this. So we're going to move to this Windows icon on the left side, on the lower left corner of your screen. If you can see this window at the left lower side of your left lower corner of your screen, you're not going to right click on it. You're not going to left click on it. The normal click is going to show you this. So not this normal click. you have to right click. All right. So right click and you should see this. I hope you're seeing what I'm saying. So you're going to scroll up to installed apps. It might show as installed apps, it might show as app and features. Anyone is fine. So it's basically the same thing I'm mirroring on the screen. So you're going to go to your installed apps and it's going to drop, all the apps that I have for you. So you now scroll down. I hope you can see my screen. So you're going to scroll down and ensure that you reach where Mendeley reference manager is. Only reference manager that we're deleting. Okay? Reference manager has been very, very, it has tormented a lot of people. So I would not like us to work with that. If you want your Mendeley to work, please just follow the rules, right? Uninstall Mendeley reference manager. So you can see mine here. Right click, normal click, sorry. Then you uninstall. Okay. So I hope we are together. For those of you who have Mendeley reference manager, please uninstall it. I'll go over it again. You go to your Windows icon, lower left corner of your screen. You right click on it, scroll to installed apps. When you get to installed apps, you're going to see something like this. It can be installed apps, it could be apps and features. Uninstall Mendeley Reference Manager. Mendeley Reference Manager, please. And once you uninstall it, confirm uninstall until it's complete. If you do not do that and you download Mendeley Desktop on top of it, you're going to have glitches. Have you been able to do that? If you install the reference manager, will it? No. That's the beauty of Nafisa. Nafisa is asking that if we uninstall the reference manager, will it affect the documents we are referencing with? It will not. These reference software, reference managing software, they have been, all your information has been stored on the cloud because that's why you have a username and password, right? So it's been stored on the cloud. Your references are there. Your document is not going to be affected. But you're going to have less glitches when you use Mendeley Desktop than when you use Reference Manager. Reference Manager has been very problematic for so many people. Okoye Benedicta Maria, please explain, could you just type what you're not following? Okay, just in case you joined late, I started by saying first things first. We have to ensure the Windows that we are using. Windows should be, if you're using Windows anyway, your Windows should be at least Windows 7 onwards. I'm not very familiar with MacBook, so I really can't tell. For MS Word, at least 2016 onwards, because sometimes there are compatibility issues. You have to close your Mendeley Word, MS Word, if you have it open. They have to delete and uninstall Mendeley Reference Manager. So that's where we are right now. I hope you've been able to catch up with us. Okay. I have Windows 11. You don't have any problem. Okoye Benedict. You don't have Benedicta. You don't have any problem. Windows 11 is fine. Some people don't know how to check, what version they have. So you come back to this icon, the Windows icon, lower left corner, right click again on it, and come to System. If you want to know what Windows you're using, some people, are not aware of how to check it. You come to the Windows icon, lower left corner, right click. You're going to come up with this pop-up and this move to system. When you click on your system, it will show you specifications. So your Windows specifications, Windows 11. You see that? So you know that you're good to go. Okay? I hope we've been able to do this. I hope we've been able to do this. Oh, hello everyone. I had some problems in my network. I'm back now. I'm back now. I'm back now. Can you hear me? Am I audible? Okay, yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm back now. It's just the network. Alright. So what we were discussing was if you already have Mendeley sites, you might have to come to your browser. So you open whatever browser you are comfortable with. So on your browser, the top right corner, you're going to see a number of icons here. If you followed my Zotero class, you should have your Zotero here, then whatever it is you've added here. So click on this thing looking like a jigsaw puzzle. That's your extensions. So your extensions will show you what you have and what you can even add. So click on extensions here. It will show you the extensions you already have. If you have Mendeley sites, I strongly recommend that
Sorry,
you,
Chief.
can you hear me?
Yeah, Chief, we can't see your screen, please. Sorry. Could you share your screen again?
Okay, I have to share again. Sorry. Yes, thank you. Okay, is it visible now?
Yes, it is.
All right, thank you so much. I appreciate the feedback. Thank you. All right. So I was saying, let me close it. So I was saying I have to come to your browser. If you've already used Mendeley before and you have Mendeley sites, there's a little jigsaw icon on the top right corner. This is it. It's for your extensions. So click on the extensions, right? And in the extensions, you see, a list on your left, down the left side of your screen. So leave recommendations, click on extensions. Whatever extensions you have will be visible here. So from your extensions, if you have Mendeley sites, I strongly recommend that you click on this to disable it because it's going to keep giving you challenges. Okay, if you're using Mendeley desktop. So you have to disable it. Once you disable it, it will disappear from here. So once you have this, then your laptop is basically like, a virgin laptop. Then we can now work together. If you do not follow these instructions, I'm sorry, your Mendeley might be glitching and you might have challenges with it and I might not be able to help you. So please try and comply with these rules. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to return to, what we actually came here for, installation and setup. Why I went through that is because if you do not meet these requirements we mentioned, Word 7 and above, MS Word 2016 and onwards, if you do not close your MS Word, if you do not delete or uninstall Mendeley Reference Manager and remove the Mendeley site, honestly, you're going to keep having challenges. So now that your systems have returned to being virgins, we can now proceed. So we're going to start by going to our browser and typing in www.mendeley.com. Very straightforward, right? I hope as I'm doing this, you're also joining me so that I can get your feedback. Any challenges you have, we can try to troubleshoot them together. All right, so www.mendeley.com. So in your URL tab here, we are typing it together, mendeley.com, and enter. Okay, so I have already been logged. I already have, a username and password with them. So that's why it's showing this way. But ideally, if you do not have an account with them, this is what you should see. Or even if you haven't signed in, this is what you should see. Are we together? So this is what your screen should look like if you haven't signed in. If you do not have an account at all, you can create a free account. Okay. All right. I hope we are together thus far. www.mendeley.com. This should be the homepage that you are seeing using your browser. Please do not download anything. All I want you to do, if you have a previous account, you can sign in. If you do not have a previous account, create a free account. As straightforward as that. Please do not download anything. Just sign in or create a free account if you do not have that. So if you're signing in, you should see this. If you're creating a free account, you should see something similar that will ask for a couple of your details. Then you enter those details and move on. So I'll give us a few minutes to be able to do that. Once you're able to do that, your screen will revert to this. Please, when you come to this screen, do not download Reference Manager. I strongly recommend that you do not download Mendeley Reference Manager. So I'll give us a few minutes to get back. This is your home screen. You sign in if you already have a Mendeley account, or you create a free account if you do not have a Mendeley account. And once you register, get a free account, you might see a screen, a pop-up that looks something like this. Fill in your details. Remember your password because you're going to use it a couple of times. Remember your password. And if you already have a Mendeley account, you can sign in to move on to this page. And when you get to this page, please do not download anything. Are we together? Can you type yes in the chat box if you're done? If you have any challenges, please let me know. If you're done with getting a new account, okay, Aliyu is done, Aisha is done. That means you've created or signed in. That's good. Can I get more feedback so I know that we are together? I need help on how to check uninstall Mendeley on my system. I did not follow through. Okay, Nafisa is done. Any other person done? Oh, Biodun is done. Very good. All right. I think is the Ajakpako people. Oh, Elizabeth is done. Very good. You guys are doing really well. Okay, so I'll come back to Olainka. How do you uninstall Mendeley on your system? I'll quickly run through it again. So back to this slide, right? I mentioned that on the lower corner of my of the left part of my screen, this Windows icon, you right click, not left, not the typical click, the right click on it, and you go to installed apps. It might show as apps and features on your laptop. So if it's apps and features, or if it's installed apps, you click on that. And when you click on it, you'll see a page like this. So you scroll down and find Mendeley Reference Manager and delete it. An old desktop, Mendeley desktop, it would be advisable to delete that too because it's not if it's not I'm trying to change my internet access because this seems to be giving me some challenge. Can you hear me now? Could not create a new account. Tajuddin Falsas. Why couldn't you create a new account? Please let me know why I couldn't. I think this is, still the earlier part of. Okay, this is better. So I've switched my network provider. Okay, a bit better. We can hear you. Okay, let's work with this then. So I've pasted the link in the chat box. So when you click the link, it'll take you to where you're going to download. How did I generate this link? Let me walk you through it. So when Mendeley finally decided to listen to, its clientele that have been complaining about the glitches they've been having, they decided to, put it on their blog. So in their blog here, Mendeley Desktop is here to stay. I'm saying this for the benefit of people who are going to listen to the recording. So this Mendeley Desktop is here to stay. That's where I clicked and scroll to the bottom. You see, for those who would like to explore it, you can download it here. So when you click the here, it's going to give you that link that I pasted in the chat box. So for those who are watching the recordings, that's what you do. You go to the Mendeley website, scroll to the bottom where you see the blog. And when you get to the blog, move to this particular Mendeley Desktop is here to stay. And you're going to see what is recommended for your system. So once you see recommended for your system, kindly click on that. That is what you're going to download and you're going to install Mendeley Desktop. Please do not look at any other thing. Do not look at all this drama going on. Focus on what is recommended for your system. Click on it, download it, and install it. All right. So I'll be listening in the chat box for your messages. You don't have to go through all this I went through. I've already pasted the link in the chat box. So you can click on it. It will bring you to this page. And once it brings you to this page, click recommended for your system. If you've done that, please let me know. Ali is my top student. Well done. Paul says, why couldn't you create a new account? Do you already have an account? I don't know where we got to this point. You need to get to this point, babe. Elizabeth, all you need to do, you've created a new account. Okay, that's fine. So all you need to do is I've pasted a link in the chat box. Click on that link. It will bring you to this page. The long story I was recounting was just for people who are watching the recording. They will not be able to see, they might not be able to see the link in the chat box. So I'm trying to show them how I came here. Okay. How did I come here? The same Mendeley, www.mendeley.com, right? And so remember this page. Once you sign in or you log in, it will bring you to this page. So from this page, you scroll to the bottom, you see blog. From this blog, scroll to this post. Mendeley Desktop is here to stay. And you see the link here. If you're done with that, please let me know. Please don't use the link. Why do you say we should not use the link? Use the link, oh, it's from their website, and that's how I downloaded mine. Why won't you use the link, Abiodun? The link is from their website. It's not a fake link or anything. And I've installed for several people, and it works perfectly. So are we together? Aliu is done. Can I have more done? You should click download and install. Usually when you click, okay, Abiodun is done. Very good. Aliu is done as well. So usually when you click on the link, it's going to automatically download to your downloads file. So this is usually your file explorer. Aisha is done too. This is your file explorer. If you go to downloads, you should find it there, right? Downloads is here. So you find it there. And once you find it there, then you can do what you need to do. Just double click on that, on what you've downloaded, and it will ask you, should this thing make changes to your system or whatnot? Just say yes, and you'll have downloaded Mendeley. You'll have installed Mendeley. So let me just wait for more feedback to be sure that we're all together. Aisha, Abiodun, and Aliyu are done. Does anybody have any challenge so far? Please, we need to follow through exactly as I'm saying. I just created an account. Shirley, I think you came in late. So, Shirley, I'm pasting the link again, right, in the chat box. Just click on this link. Now that you've created a new account, fantastic. Click on this link that's in the chat box, and it will bring you to this page. And when you come to this page, click on what is recommended for your system. All right. What is recommended for my own system is this what not for Windows. So that's what I'm clicking on. Elizabeth is done. Very good. You're trying to create an account, Maria. What's going on? Maria. Hmm? It shouldn't be hard though, to create an account. That's still one of the easiest steps. Are you sure are you sure you're part of our Ajepako group? The Ajabo group has gone with Mendeley. Hmm? Benedicta, you shouldn't have any difficulty creating an account, really. Maybe you'll watch the recording again. So it's not accepting your password. I cannot help you with passwords. You have to create a stronger password, I guess. Still can't create an account. That's Dr. Sonny Onazi. Why can't you create an account? Nafisa is done. I can't help you with password. You just have to generate a password that meets the requirements. Still can't create an account. I'm assuming Dr. Nazi came in a little late because we've gone through all this already. Okay. So a lot of people have been able to install Mendeley Desktop for Windows or for Mac, depending on, what your system is, whatever the recommendation for your system is. Let me check the chats again. Should I use another password different from my email? Of course, of course. Okay, so Dr. Okoye Benedicta, what you should do is when you put in your email, you have to use a password specific to Mendeley. It's not your email password. If you're creating a new account, hopefully that account hasn't already been linked to Mendeley before. You should use a specific email only for Mendeley. Only for Mendeley. And you should try and remember your password because you're going to use it subsequently. Do I need to delete or uninstall Mendeley Desktop? If you've had it for a very long time and it's old, you might need to delete it so that you have, something that is compatible with, like a newer version that is more compatible. But if the Mendeley Desktop has been working for you before, you've not had any challenges with it, then, why fix what's not broken? So you can still work with that. I'm just trying to give you the foolproof way that it's guaranteed to work so long as you follow, the rules. Yours is still downloading, so you can get the link on your PC. I showed you, Adedayo, how to get the link on your PC. On the Mendeley website, www.mendeley.com. Once you've been able to sign in, you can scroll to blog. You can see the sign-in page. You can scroll down to where you see the blog here. Click on blog. They have different articles. The article we need is this fourth one, saying Mendeley desktop is here to stay. When you click on that, you click on this link. I just don't want to drag everybody through that. That's why I simply pasted the link. Just click on download it here and you're good to go. All right. So when you click on that link, it will bring you to this page. And on this page, click whatever is recommended for your system. It will download into your downloads folder. Double click on it when you get to the downloads folder and install it. You follow the wizard until it says installed. Okay. I hope we're together. Any more challenges? Okay, so I think we can move to the next step. So remember I said that you should not download anything. Don't download reference manager, just follow my lead, please. Okay? So if you've been able to do all these, if you've been able to reach this part of your presentation, I congratulate you. We've gone more than halfway. So you've done very, very well, right? You've done very, very well. What we now need you to do is you're going to open the Mendeley. After you've installed it, it should open for you. And when it opens for you, you should see something like this. I should post the link again. Here it is. So you should see something like this, right? I've been using my Mendeley for a while, so it's quite populated. It's quite populated anyway. So ideally, yours should be showing, clear like this, new, brand new, everything clean, everything spanking new, right? If you've opened your Mendeley, please type I've opened it or opened. Just type opened for me in the chat box. So I know that we're together. Open your Mendeley desktop. If you've opened it, type opened, please. Opened. I'm not seeing any opened. Aliu, top student. Abiodun, excellent. Who has opened their Mendeley? Who has opened Mendeley? Any other person? How about the ladies? Nafisa, Elizabeth, Aisha. Yes, Aisha has opened. Okay, can we get more opened so that we are together? Editor, have you been able to open? Let's be sure that we are together. Oh. The class is not as large today because I've already discouraged people. Very good, Elizabeth. Well done. Mendeley is for Ajapako people. People that like hard things. Resident doctors that like stress. Soft life gang have moved with Zotero. Okay, so can we proceed? Okay, so let's proceed. So if you open your Mendeley, you should be seeing something like you're seeing on my screen, right? You have your file, you have your edit tab, you have your view tab, you have your tools, you have your help. I want you to come to tools immediately before we even start looking around. Click on tools. You have to install MS Word plugin. So me, I already have it installed. That's why it's showing uninstall for me, right? So you have to install MS Word plugin and you have to install Web Importer. Those two things. Please don't talk about Mendeley sites. I told you that you should disable Mendeley sites if you do not want any glitches. Just install MS Word plugin. Make sure that your MS Word, that's your Microsoft Word, is closed. Make sure you've closed your Microsoft Word, please. If you don't do that, you might not be able to install the Word plugins. Then you install your web importer, but start with the MS Word plugin. That's the most important. If you're not able to install your MS Word plugin, then you cannot insert the references into your in-text citations. How do you uninstall Mendeley sites? Dr. Odedo, do you have Mendeley sites? Have you been using Mendeley sites? Am I audible? Okwi Odedo, do you have Mendeley sites? That's exactly what I mentioned, ab initio. If you have, if you've been using Mendeley Reference Manager before, it comes with a lot of hassles. I don't know why. The Mendeley desktop works perfectly, which is why they decided to, pause on decommissioning it. So if you have Mendeley sites, what you do is you come to your Mendeley is here to stay. You don't need to come to Dr. Shirley. You don't have to come to Mendeley is here to stay. Click on this link. Once you click on this link, you'll be able to download your Mendeley. Okay. So I'll come back to you, Dr. Dedo. For Shirley, Mendeley is here to stay. Just leave there. Focus on clicking on this link. That long process is just for people who are going to be watching the recording, because they won't be able to see the link. Just click on this link. Leave all that drama behind. Okay, so for Dr. Odedo, come back to your browser, right? So this is my browser here. So you'll see at this top right corner of your screen, there are a couple of icons there. If you have Mendeley site, you'll be seeing something Mendeley there already. So if you have that, you click on this jigsaw puzzle looking sign. Click on it. Mine brings up this kind of interface. Click on extensions. So if you have Mendeley site, for example, here, you check this. I don't know, you click on this button to disable it. Okay? But if it's not there, fine. If it's there, that's what you do to disable it. Nothing more than that. Okay? So that's what you need to do. Let me know if you've been able to do that. Shirley, are you with us? Have you clicked? Have you installed? Okay. No, if you have Mendeley Web Importer, that's fine. That's compatible. If you have Mendeley site, that's where we have the challenge. So I think we can proceed from here. So back to our Mendeley. Remember that you're coming, once you open your Mendeley desktop, you see files, you see edit, you see view, go to tools, and when you get to tools, click on install MS Word plugin, ensuring that your Word is closed. If your MS Word is open, it will not work. So ensure that your MS Word is closed. You've closed the document, any document you're working on, close it, then install MS Word plugin. If you've been able to do that, If you've been able to click MS Word plugin and it shows installed, please type in the chat box so I know that we are together. Install MS Word plugin. You also have to install the web importer, like you already have, Dr. Odedo. Okay, so if you've installed that, when you open Ali is done, top student, installed Pindiga, excellent. So if you've done this right, you're going to, if you open your Mendeley desktop after you've installed the Mendeley add-in, maybe what do you call it? So when you open your document, if you've been able to do the Mendeley plugin, you're going to see when you click on references, you're going to see this, and it will automatically have this Mendeley Cytomatic, this tab. You're going to see your open Mendeley here. If you do not see this insert citation with the Mendeley icon and the open Mendeley here, then we've lost the plot. You haven't followed the instructions and it hasn't installed. And if it hasn't installed, no matter what you write, it will not show. So please, you have to have this tab. If you don't have this tab, close your Microsoft Word, come back to Mendeley again. You might have to uninstall the MS Word plugin, then reinstall it. It's super important. If you fail this step, whatever you type in your MS Word, you can't cite inside it with Mendeley. And that's why I said Mendeley is a bit tricky. Zotero doesn't have any of these challenges. But Mendeley is very finicky about this. Very finicky about this. You have to install your MS Word plugin if you want to use MS Word to reference anything using Mendeley. So please let me know if you've been able to do this question in the chat box. When I try to install the web importer, it takes me to another page. Yeah, that's fine. You can also install the web importer. You know, when I showed Dr. Odedo when I went to my browser and I showed her this part, these extensions. You can click on your extensions here, right? Elizabeth, you can click on extensions here and you type in your Mendeley web importer. Mendeley web importer. I already have mine anyway. But if I didn't have, it's going to take me to this. So don't look at all this drama going on. Just focus on web importer. When you click on that, then you go to, okay, I already have mine, so it's telling me to remove. But if you did not have it before, you're going to see this interface. You're going to see something like this, add to Firefox, right? I hope my screen is clear. You're going to see, if you check the Mendeley web importer, once you click on it, to take you to this page, it will tell you to add it to your browser. And once you've added it to your browser, it will ask you to pin. And please ensure that you pin the extension to your toolbar. So it's going to appear at the top right corner of your screen, like it's appearing in mine. Super important. These two things are very helpful. For the web importer, you have to use it when you have to use it in the internet, because you have to synchronize whatever you've imported from the web into your library. But it's not an every time thing. Okay. So please remember that once you've clicked on install Mendeley web importer, add it to your browser, and it's going to ask you if you want to pin the extension to your toolbar. Check on this pin extension to toolbar and click OK. And once you've done that, we are ready to start. You're ready to start with Mendeley proper. Have you done this? Let me give you a few minutes to catch up if you haven't. It has installed. It's asking. That's why, yes, I did. I told you when you first signed in that you have to have your email and password. You have to remember. So yes, you type in your email and password. Elizabeth is taking you to the web importer is taking you to another page. I hope you've been able to add it to your browser and pin it to your toolbar. And if you've been able to do that, you should be seeing something like this. Okay, excuse me. You should be seeing something like this on my own screen, the top right-hand corner. You will see this red icon for Mendeley, meaning that you've been able to add your web importer to your extension. Okay, any challenges, Elizabeth? Let me bring back the PowerPoint slide. So when you click on Mendeley, okay, Aliyu is done. Very good. So when you click on the Mendeley, install Mendeley web importer that is seen on this your Mendeley desktop under tools, under the tools tab, install web importer. It should bring you to a page like this, right? And to ask you if you want to add it to your browser. Add it to your browser. When you add it to your browser, it will ask you if you want to pin this extension to your toolbar. Pin it. And when you pin it, your browser page should be looking something like this. It should have this red Mendeley icon there, showing that you've been able to pin the Mendeley, you've been able to install the Mendeley web importer and you've been able to pin it to your toolbar. Mendeley is a bit more finicky. I apologize, but I'm so used to it. I kind of like it actually because with Mendeley you can download your PDFs and open them. They have a bigger cloud storage compared with Zotero. Zotero has just 300 MB. Mendeley has up to 2 gig. So if I show you my Mendeley, prefer to work with I prefer to work with PDF documents. So all these PDFs have been on my Mendeley for several years. So I like the convenience of, just clicking on it and it opens and I can read it. But for those that I didn't download the PDFs for whatever reason, if I click on it, okay, I've downloaded this one too. I almost always download the PDFs really. So for anything I haven't downloaded the PDF of, when I click on it, I can't view it on the screen. So it doesn't suit me that way. Like this Patel PH Antoine, I don't have that. So I can't read it. For anything that you've downloaded the PDF for, it's easier to just do all your reading from Mendeley. So I tend to favor that. So has any other person been able to pin the Mendeley web importer to their toolbar? Adedaya Latif, I hope you've been able to enter your email and password. Elizabeth, let me hear from you. Aisha Mohammed Pindiga, how far? Have you had any challenges? Are we together? The next step for us now is to start populating our library. I'm at uninstall MS Word plugin. Adedaya, you are far, far, far behind. Uninstall. Why are you uninstalling? You're supposed to install it too. That means you already have oh, excellent, Aisha. That means you already have your MS Word plugin installed. Please do not uninstall. If you open your Word documents, after you've installed it, if you open your Word documents, you should be able to see under your references tab, this Mendeley Cytomatic. If you have this, then you can cite. You're good to go. No challenges. Once I click on Mendeley Web Importer, it takes me to a page that doesn't look like the one you showed. It doesn't matter. All you need to do is just add it to your browser and pin it to your toolbar. So long as you clicked on it from your Mendeley Web Importer, from your Mendeley app itself, there's no problem. Just follow it. Is it advisable for someone who has Mendeley before to download another Mendeley desktop? You cannot download. I mentioned it previously that you cannot. Okay, those options are not available. Okay, for Elizabeth, could you go to your okay, so let me let me not skip Dr. Odedo. You might have to, if your Mendeley desktop, the one that you're using currently, is not giving you any challenges. I mentioned that you don't need to fix what is not broken. You can work with it. But if you want to download this new one that I sent the link for, then you have to delete that one so that you don't have problems. Or else, when you try to work with it, you cite and the citations might not work. Okay, Dr. Nazi has been able to pin it to toolbar. For Elizabeth, I'm assuming you're coming from the Mendeley itself. That's the Mendeley app itself. You can do that, or you can come to the extensions, as I mentioned. So you come to your browser, right? And this jigsaw puzzle thing, you click on it, click on extensions, right? And search for Mendeley Web Importer here. And once you search for it, you'll see it and it should pop up the way I described it in my PowerPoint slides. It should pop up this way. So you can try both ways, anyone that works for you. I'll give you a couple of minutes to catch up. Any of us that is having a challenge, please, this is a troubleshooting moment. Any challenges? Sorry to hold some of you back. Let's all move together. Not all of us, but at least the majority should move together. Editor, have you been lucky? We need to practicalize these things. Oh. Let's make sure we are together. Oh. Any challenges so far? So should we proceed? Should we proceed? I think we can go ahead. Should I give 1 more minute for any more questions, or we should proceed to using Mendeley proper? Network delayed me after downloading Mendeley desktop. What else? Okay. For Kelechi, once you download your Mendeley desktop, it should open for you, right? And if it opens for you, you should be seeing a page looking like this. So come straight to tools, making sure that your Mendeley Word document is closed. If your Mendeley Word, Microsoft Word is open, kindly close it. Any Word document you have, kindly close it. So if you've closed that, under the Tools tab, come to Install MS Word plugin. I already have the MS Word plugin. That's why it's asking me if I want to uninstall it. But yours should be showing Install MS Word plugin. So click on MS Word plugin. And after that, you can now click on the Install Web Importer. And if you've been able to do that, Kelechi, when you open your Mendeley Word document again, you should see this Cytomatic, Mendeley Cytomatic, under References tab. And when you see that, you know that everything has worked dandy and you can download and you can cite, and you can do all the magic you need to do. Any challenges so far? Can I proceed? Say yes. Type yes in the chat. If it's asking you to uninstall, it means you already have it. So for Kelechi, if it's asking you to uninstall MS Word plugin, it means you already have it. So do not, don't upset the apple cart. You're asking how do you open it? What are you opening? Your Mendeley app should be open. And if you now open your MS Word, you should be seeing this Mendeley cytomatic tab under your references. If you do not see this cytomatic tab under your references, it means there's a problem, and you might not be able to continue with the rest of us. Then, so there's nothing to open really. It's just for you to open your MS Word now and see that the cytomatic is there. How do you install the web importer? Adedayo Latif. You go back to your Mendeley app. Once you click on your Mendeley app, come to Tools, then you install the web importer. And if you do not follow this, if you don't follow this, you can do it another way. All right, so we're going to proceed now. So how do we populate our library? That's the main thing. If you don't populate our library, then what can we cite? You know, the whole point of this is to be able to populate our library and start citing. All right, so the next thing we need to do is our citation style. So if you come to your Mendeley desktop, scroll to view. Under view, you see citation style. Many of us like to use Mendeley superscript. So is generally when you download your Mendeley desktop, you might not have your superscript. So I want us to do this together too. Once we've done this together, then we can populate the library. So I already have Mendeley superscript. If you do not have it, you can click more styles, right? So when you click more styles, you'll see different styles here, right? So you can type in what you want. So you click on get more styles and you select basically what you like. No. So under this installs, you can type say nature You want the nature style, for example. So when that comes, you click on it and you add use this style. Are we together? Mendeley is more is more finicky, not like Zotero, but it works well. It works well. Okay. So please, I want to make sure that we all have Mendeley, Vancouver superscript. Mhm. So for you, just type, instead of typing nature here, you type your Vancouver superscripts. I already have mine. So Vancouver superscript. So this is how it should pop up. Then you click use this style. And once you click use this style, ensure you click done. Very, very important that you click done, or else it will not save. Are we together? Who has been able to download Mendeley? Vancouver superscript. So you can go to get more styles. It can still be on your installed. You type in what you want and you click install, or you say get style and you do done. Who has Vancouver superscripts? Let me see your hands up, or let me see your comments in the chat box saying I've downloaded superscript. Done, Sunny. Fantastic. I have. Ali, you top student. Okay. So can I get more feedback? Have you been able to download the Vancouver superscripts? In my view, I didn't see citation style. Done. Nafisa, Elizabeth, Aliyu, and Sonny. Excellent. Okay, so I'm coming back to my Mendeley desktop. Come to view. This is where citation style is. It's the same for everyone. File, edit, view, citation style. So we come down to more styles. As I said, I already have superscript, so I don't need to get it. But if I click on more styles, it will bring out this for me. So you can type your Vancouver superscript in here, or you can click for get more styles and type it in. And once it comes in, you can say use this style, or download this style, or install this style, whichever it is. And once you're done with that, please ensure that you click done. If you do not click done, it will not be done. Oh, the soup will not cook well. The soup will not sweet. I saw Vancouver in mine, but no superscript as yours and others. I did the same. The truth is, Samuel, the truth is, I know someone personally who did West Africa. And in West Africa, she still used this Vancouver style. I'm trying to look for this slide. Okay. Okay, so she used this Vancouver style, this parentheses and the numbers, and nothing happened. Okay, but it's just that a lot of us tend to prefer using this, in-text citation to show these superscript numbers. You get, but I really don't think there's anything wrong with it. Vancouver is the parentheses with the number. The superscript is just, it's devoid of parentheses and the number is hovering sort of above what you're working with. So if your college doesn't have a problem with it, it doesn't really matter. But a lot of people who have reached out to me with challenges, about their challenges with Mendeley, one of their common complaints is that they want Vancouver superscript. So that's why I'm taking out, the time to explain how it works, how you can get it. So this is where we are. When you click citation styles, you should be able to get it from here. And when you're done, click done. I saw Vancouver alone. You have to search for Vancouver superscript. You search for it, get more styles. You type it in here, Vancouver superscript. If you need it, if you do not need it, we can just, continue. And whenever you get it, you click done. Citation styles. Let me share this as a slideshow. Citation styles, get more styles. Type it in here and it will come up as Vancouver superscript, or you can just type superscript and you install it. So once you install it, it comes straight to your library and you click done. Okay. So I'm proceeding to the next step, which is populating our library. There are different ways you can populate your library for Mendeley. It's not as dynamic as Zotero, but it still works. And you have more ability to download a lot of PDF documents. It has capacity for a lot of PDF documents. So you could also enter manually, like for Zotero. You can drag and drop it as well. It doesn't have that ISBN DOI thing that the Zotero connector does, or the magic wand of Zotero does, but still, for those of us who like rugged things, it still works really and does what it needs to do. So we're going to go through these one by one, and I hope I will still be able to engage us. We have about 30 minutes to 10 o'clock. I'm hoping we can be done by likely 10:15. Okay, so how do you populate our library? We come to Mendeley desktop, right? We can add it manually. So how do you do manually? You click so when you can click file, add entry manually, or you can, just like Zotero, it has some tabs here that you can click on. So you can do this add entry manually. So this add entry manually brings you back to what I mentioned. You have to be able to understand the anatomy of a citation, right? So say the article you want to, the book you want to cite is not something you have found online. Maybe it's one of the books that your lecturer wrote in 100 level or something. So you want to cite the book in here. So I hope we are together. We should be practicing this together. Come back to, okay, let me close it and start again. So if you want to add an entry manually, most times it's for books, maybe Nigerian books that haven't been internationally acknowledged. So you come to add entry manually under the file tab, add entry manually, or you could come to this icon and click on the small upside down triangle and add entry manually. So as I said again, you have to know the anatomy of a citation to be able to use this properly. Let's say this is a book. So you click on book. Then the name of the book is Nobody Knows Tomorrow. Nobody knows tomorrow. Right? And the author is, okay, so for the author, last name, then first name, separated by a comma. So, Nyong'o. right? Then you put your comma, then you put your space, then first name, Lupita Nyong'o. I feel like there's a comma somewhere in this Nyong'o name, but let's just move on. What year was it written? 2025. What pages are you citing from 45 to 47? What city was it published in? Remember I said your city of the publication location should always be the city, not the country. So the city, say, Mexico City. The edition, let's say this is the second edition. Remember that I mentioned that if it's the first edition, you should be silent on it. If it's first edition, leave it blank. If it has some editors, you can mention, it still has the same nomenclature. Last name first, then comma, then first name. So say Cruz, comma, Tom. Enter. What else? Okay, the publisher, let's put Elsevier. There are different Elseviers that are coming out, so you can pick from any of them, right? Let's pick Elsevier Incorporated. If it has a URL, you could include it here. If it doesn't, leave it. The ISBN 987654321. So, like I mentioned during the previous presentation, ISBNs are specific for each book. So you can put that in here, right? And you save. So we already have that cited. It's commonly used for books, honestly. There's another thing I want you to quickly add. Under your view, show document details, right? It was showing before, but if yours wasn't showing, let it show. It's very helpful. When we talk about the PDFs, then you'll see how useful that can be. So we are done with adding a citation manually. If you're having any challenges with adding a citation manually, let me know. Comments. Are we together? Are we together? What version of Mendeley? The interface is different from mine, and I have a room to use GUIs to add manually. Oh, that's very good. That's very good. I think this is even, maybe they've upgraded to a better one. That is fantastic. Because these GUIs before, I have a room to use GUIs to add manually. Are you talking about what Zotero does, where you just place the GUI and it populates the metadata instantly? If there are many authors, how do you enter the names? You enter the names like that too. You enter 6 names. Okay, so let me check the comment section. So Owusu, if you have room to use the GUIs to add manually, GUIs are for articles, not for books. ISBNs are for books. So I'm not quite sure where we are, Sha. If there are many authors, you enter the names, you enter the first 6, surname, initials, comma, surname, initials, comma, until you reach 6. After 6, you put it all. You don't have to enter all of them. You can just enter the first 6 and leave the rest. Or maybe the first 7, so that it will add it all to it. I didn't quite get the show document details. Oh, the show document details, Onazi. You go to view. There's supposed to be this tab. I'm sure your tab is already showing. If no document selected is showing here, that means you already have this tab. It's very helpful when we come to PDFs. Any remedy for those of us that missed the previous class and are late to today's class? Today's class will go far. For the remedy for both is to watch the videos. Unfortunately, the video for Zotero, there were a lot of places that my screen was static, but if you follow my voice, you might be able to get it. Hopefully, maybe after my exams, I can repeat the video. The college wants some parts of the references in italics. How do I do that? Very, very good point, Noah. When I had this challenge, I realized that it was ideally they shouldn't be asking for you to italicize some of them, honestly. But I noticed that some supervisors seem to have worked with maybe nature. So they'll tell you that it's Vancouver style. For Vancouver, you don't necessarily have to italicize some of them. But what I did was I went to Nature's, let me see what I have here. It's Nature's Vancouver that has that. It's Nature's Vancouver that has that. And it was easier to get on Zotero. Okay. So let's look for Nature's Vancouver here. So I think maybe Nature should work, but the ideal one is actually Nature Vancouver. And it works perfectly well for me when I checked on, where is it? Okay, see it here, Nature Publishing Group. For those of you who are looking for Vancouver superscripts and you were having challenges with it, you can see how I did it. You just come to your citation styles, get more styles, Nature Publishing Group Vancouver. You install and you click done. Please remember to click done. Okay. So when we do the practicals, you will see how it will change the format for us. So we've done the first one. The first one is adding an entry manually. Let's add a file. Let me check my comment section again. How do we get the recordings? Likely the same way you got the link. You can reach out to the editor. We are from ARD-NHA, so we share it on our WhatsApp group. We share it on Havila group. We share it on NME FCT. So wherever you got the link from, you can just follow up with that person so that you can reach out to the editor and you get the recordings. All right. So where were we? Let's move on to the next one. So let's download something. So come back to our browser. Right? Come back to our browser. Let's look for something. Let's say TB in children, right? Tuberculosis in children. For those of us who are preparing for exams and are writing because of exams, you have to have your Google Scholar pinned to your extension. Is super helpful. So once I've typed it out, it will show me all sorts of junk, CDC, this, Medscape, Stanford. I want articles on this. So I'll just click on the Google Scholar button and maximize this. This one is not compulsory. I just want an article. Okay. So tuberculosis in children. I'll click on it. I hope you guys are trying what I'm, doing as well. You can just type Google Scholar tuberculosis in children or Google Scholar. When Google Scholar comes out, then you type tuberculosis in children or any topic that, you're interested in really. Okay. So let's accept the cookies so we can manage the settings if you want. So I want to download the PDF. I can view it here and see if it's something I can download. A lot of them are behind paywall, so I might not be able to download them, but this is downloadable. So this is where I download it from, this icon here. Click on it and to download straight. You can edit it, say I don't want what is showing there, NHMA, blah, 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 blah. I want to change it to tuberculosis in children. All right, so I save. So it's going to my downloads. So I can now go back to Mendeley. Please, let's do this together. I can go back to Mendeley and I can go to file here, add file, Control O, or I can click this small inverted arrow and add file, tuberculosis in children, and open. And it will come here. Why I was particular about your view showing document details is your document, sorry, I've gone ahead of myself. Your document is supposed to populate, your metadata is supposed to populate itself immediately here, automatically, right? As you can see. But as I said, you always have to cross-check that your metadata is correct. You always have to cross-check that your metadata is correct. And why I love to work with PDFs is I can double-click on the PDF and it will come up. So I can look at the names directly. This is a very beautiful example of how some things do not quite add up, right? So you can see this topic now, tuberculosis in children. Fine, tuberculosis in children. Can you see the authors? Who can read out the authors to me? Can somebody kindly unmute? Just one person unmute and read out the... How do we pin Google Scholar? You go to your extensions, the same way I showed you extensions for, what's the name? For the Mendeley web importer. So you just look for it there and you pin it. So which names can you see? Or can you type the name for me? You can see that there is a disparity between the names. There's a discrepancy between the name here and the name here. It's showing Banerjee, and these ones are just two authors. So this is why I say, even if this is, like a high profile journal, sometimes some of these mistakes do happen. So you might have to recheck. This is tuberculosis in children. Tuberculosis in children is the title. It's a journal article, it's a journal article. That's fine. The journal is showing pediatrics in review. The journal here is New England Journal of Medicine. So you can see. So sometimes you really have to check these things and be sure that you're doing the right thing. So now I'm going to type the New England Journal. Okay, it's not showing the way I'd like it to show. Most times when it starts, it'll give you suggestions. England Journal of Medicine. It's supposed to suggest it for me, but I don't know why it's slow today. All right. So that's the actual journal. Then the year. Let's come to the year. Usually most of this information, you get them here. This is showing 2012. Let's see. Yeah, it's 2012. So you change it from 2019 to 2012. Zotero has more accurate way of harvesting the data. I don't know how they do it, but their own is actually more accurate. So as I said, those of us that like suffer ahead, let's be using our Mendeley Deco. So the volume, and that's why you have to know the citation, the anatomy of a citation. So from the volume here, you can see 367 semicolon 4. So the volume is 367. Ideally, is the issue should be in brackets. Okay, the issue should be in brackets. But since it's showing semicolon 4 here, I'm assuming that this is actually the issue. So the issue is 4 already. The pages, you can decide what pages are here. So here is showing 348 to 61. So we change it to 348, 48 to 361. Or you can just do to 61. Anyone is fine. Okay. So the DOI, you can check the DOI here. Usually starts with this 10, blah, 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 blah. So even this DOI is wrong. So you can see what I say about the metadata. You have to always cross-check these things. You always have to cross-check them because anything can happen. You see a perfectly normal article, you download it, it will be giving you Chinese authors. So I'm trying to copy the DOI here and paste it in here. Okay. The rest of them, you can even delete them just so that, because the rest of the previous information, the previous metadata were wrong. So let's just delete anything that's going to give us some challenge, right? You can leave the abstract, you can delete it. So remember the names. We have to come back to the names. I'm seeing Holmberg here, Temesgen and Banerjee. These are not the names of the authors. We just have two authors. So you highlight and delete them. And remember when you're entering them, surname first. obviously, Perez Velez is the surname. Perez Velez. Then your comma. Then his first name. So you can put the Carlos space, then M, right? So once you've done that, enter for the next person. The next person, Mary, comma, then J. And you're done. So just click out. So you can see it now. Whereas if you had cited it, the way it was before, the citation would be wrong, right? So when we go back to our library now, we know that what we've entered here, all the junk that was here before has been reviewed and it's now correct. So we are together. Now, let's go back to our browser. Any challenges so far, please let me know. This is downloading a PDF and entering it directly and adding the file. So we've done manual, we've done add a file, which is a PDF. So let's try some more, right? Any questions, any challenges? So I'm going back to my browser now. Let's look for another article. Say we're looking for complications of pneumonia in infants. Okay, infants in Nigeria. Please pardon my typo. So as I said, I always use my Google Scholar. You can still do the same thing, Sorry. Control-C. Instead of searching for what I said we should search for, you can first search for Google Scholar. Click on Google Scholar. Then paste the complication of pneumonia in infants in Nigeria and search. All right, so the same thing comes out. So let's say we want to use this one, right? Sorry, let me branch off. Let me digress a little. For Google Scholar, you could also use this, particularly if you have PowerPoint presentations. You can come to the Vancouver here, just click on it and you download it. You copy it and you can now paste it in your PowerPoint. Sometimes too, if you have to enter or you have to edit the metadata, you might not know which one is the surname and which one is the name. So you could come to Google Scholar and check it and now see, okay, it's Odeyemi that is the surname, then you enter that way. Because some people have names like Chris James and you're not sure which is the name or which is the surname. So Google Scholar is very helpful for that, but I digress. What brought us here is we want to download this as well. Okay, so let's accept anyway. So this article now we want to download the PDF. It has downloaded. So we can go to our downloads. This is the actual file that I'm just talking about, right? Come to Mendeley desktop, click your file explorer. You might need to collapse it a bit so you can see what you want. Then you drag and drop, right? There are different things you can do. You can just drag it. So just click on it, right? I don't know how to describe drag and drop. It's something you should know. There's no way to really explain it. So I drag it and drop it here. So you can also do it that way. So the complications of pneumonia and blah 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 is already here. And when you click on it, you can see the metadata. You can always compare it. If it's a PDF, you can double click and open it. You can read it right here and you can, cross-check that the information is correct. The DOIs are fine. The author names are good. The journal article name, Nigerian Journal of Pediatrics. So you can see this is perfect, right? There's no challenge with this one. So we've gone through 3 now. Can you tell me the 3 we've gone through in the comment section? How do you edit the PDF file imported into the library? So you can just come to your file explorer. Okay, so this is my own file explorer here. This is Agile file. I don't like the Agile file thing. I can just right click on it and rename it. Rename. I can make it whatever it is I want to make it. I can type anything I want to type, right? But I don't want to rename it. So are we together? So what are the ones we've done today? How have we been able to populate our library? Can somebody just quickly recap in the comment section? How have we been able to populate our library? Our star students, are you still with us? I see the numbers have dropped. Mendeley has Wahala. I'm so sorry. But we are almost there, really. I'm anticipating by Aliyu, are you still here? Everybody. I'm getting cricket silence. I hope it's not my network. I hope I'm audible. Crickets, crickets. Am I alone in this thing? Please comment to which methods have we used? Okay, which methods have we used? Thank you, Choma. Have we used to populate our library? Mendeley is for hard people. The Paco people. Manual. Thank you very much, Achanya. So that's the last entry. Very good. Any other person? It's only Achanya that is answering my question. Zoom user, we are with you. Thank you. Okay, Dr. Dedo, I thought that the authors should be surnames and initials, but you wrote the names in full. You can do anyone really. Oh. You can do anyone. It's still going to abbreviate the names for you. Yes, Dr. Sonny, manually, I agree. Which other ones have you done? You can do both. You can do anyone really, Dr. Dedo. You can, put the initials, you can type them out in full. It's basically the same thing. Adding of files, very good. For the books, we added the books manually. You can also add books. If you have a PDF of a book, you can add it to it as well. But remember that I said your storage is 2 gig of space. So if you start exceeding 2 gig, you might have to pay for extra cloud storage. So I've shown you how to add files. That's particularly PDFs. I've shown you how to drag and pick and drop into your Mendeley. The last one that we did, this one that we did was I picked it from my file explorer in downloads and dropped it here, right? Okay, so let's go back to the browser now. Let's try another thing. You guys are really you're really tough. Ah, the Zotero one that we did, it finally trickled down to about 70 something. So I think the attrition rate here is way lower. That's impressive. All right, so let's try something else. Let's try something else. Okay, so let's do this. Sometimes we have a paywall, particularly things like Lancet articles, they're really free. So you might have to pay for them. So if you cannot pay for them, you just want to, you've read what you need to read, you've checked the abstract or whatever it is that is available for you, and you feel fine, I want to use this one, then you can go ahead and cite it. I'm looking for, okay, so you can do this export citation. I'm sure some of you have seen this. So you want to copy the citation, not necessarily the PDF. So it will ask you if you want to download the citation. What I've realized for Mendeley is it's very finicky, right? For Zotero, you can download a RIS, you can download any of these ones, they tend to work. But for Mendeley, the one that often, I'm trying to give you the ones that work regularly so you will not be having challenges, is often RefWorks. So let's download the RefWorks, direct import, then we download. Please, are we together? Okay, so let's go back to where I came from. Complications of pneumonia in children. That was what I typed in the Google Scholar bar, search bar. And I'm coming down to the burdens and risk of pneumonia, pediatric pneumonia in Nigeria. So I'm clicking on that. I don't want to do the PDF. We've already gone through PDF. So let's do tools, particularly for journal articles that are behind a paywall. You have to pay to get it. But you've read the abstract and you feel, oh, this thing, it already captures what I want to say, and I'm fine with that. So you can come to your tools. Ideally, you know that me and you know that you're supposed to read the entire article before you cite it, but sometimes you might just have to do this. So you come to export citation. And I said, particularly for Mendeley, if you don't want challenges, always use RefWorks. RefWorks tends to work better, and download. All right? Let's see if it has downloaded. Is requesting for some password, blah, blah, blah. So this is not going to work. Someone's asking something. You've not shown us how to italicize the citing. We'll do that. We'll do that. I'm just trying to take it, slow and one by one so that we don't lose more people. We'll fight to. Yeah, talking. Okay. Okay, so let's try. Let me see. It's Refman that used to work, not Ref. Okay, let's try BibTeX. Sometimes we are lucky and BibTeX works. So not Ref works, it's Refman. It's usually Refman now works. So let's write. We don't have Refman here. Let's try BibTeX. If BibTeX doesn't work, we try RIS. Okay, so it looks like BibTeX is working. So from this BibTeX now, we can also come back to the Mendeley and add file. So the file doesn't always have to be a PDF. Let's see if we'll be lucky to get everything here. Okay, so BibTeX also works. So Refman, BibTeX, they tend to work. So you can see that because we didn't download the PDF here, if I double click on it, I can't open it the way I opened tuberculosis in children and complications of pneumonia. But you still have it here. And you also have to cross-check that your metadata is correct. So the last one we're going to do here, we've added files, we've done manual entry, we've dragged and dropped, we've downloaded the, citation directly. We should try our Mendeley web importer. For the web importer, you have to be online. So it's not something I'm very fond of because I like to work offline. Then when I come online because sometimes it can be quite distracting. So let's try something else. Okay. So this is what we want to. All right, so this page now, we want to cite this. You can click on your Mendeley web importer. Oh, I haven't signed in. I hope I remember my login details. So you might have to sign in for this one. Oh, I hope I remember my login details. Okay. So in case you do not want to use the PDF, you just want to use the Mendeley web importer. So you can see it here. It has downloaded into Mendeley, the cost of illness and blah blah blah. The beauty about this one is it usually suggests other things for you, other articles for you. So you can just check them if you want. Let me just check this one to show you how it works. Right? And you click add here. Please don't forget to add it. Add it to your library. Okay, so it's showing you that it has added it to your library. So for this one, you really have to be online. It's not something you can work offline with because after you've added to your library, the cause of illness for childhood clinical pneumonia. You can see it's not here yet. So what do you need to do? You need to synchronize your library with Mendeley Web. Don't forget that once you use Mendeley Web Importer, you come back to your Mendeley desktop and you synchronize it. If you do not synchronize it, it's not going to come in. Okay, so the two articles I clicked now have also joined, and they're coming as PDFs. So I can click and I can see and I can compare the metadata. It's already telling me here that these details need reviewing. So you might need to, cross-check that your metadata is correct. Okay, so we've spent so much time here. We've populated our library. Let's start citing. Okay, all right. So how do we start citing? Open your open your MS Word. Have we opened our MS Word? Are we together? Type MS Word if you've opened your MS Word. And you can see your Mendeley cytomatic. If you can't see Mendeley cytomatic, I can't help you. Mendeley cytomatic. For the style, you can come and click what you want here, right? You can come and click your Vancouver superscript. I want to add that the other one I told you about, this one. Use this style. Done. Okay. So are we together? I want to see your comments in the chat box. Say MS Word if you've opened your MS Word. Remember that it has to be from 2016 and above. MS Word. Nafisa, thank you so much. Thank you. All right. All right. So we're going to generate random text because, we just have to make this quick. So type an equals to sign. I'm hoping you can see my screen clearly. Equals to sign. Then random, R-A-N-D. Don't type random in full, just R-A-N-D. No space. Equals to rand. Then put your brackets. Then 5. 5 is going to give you 5 paragraphs. Then close the parentheses and enter. I'll go through it again. Equals to rand. Then open a bracket or a parenthesis. If you want to change it to 6 paragraphs, you are free to change it to 6 paragraphs. If you want to work with 4, you can work with 4. Then close the brackets and right at the end of it, don't put a space, enter. So it will generate these paragraphs randomly for you. So this is what we're going to use to cite, right? Just to show you how it works. And with that, we're soon going to end our class. Are we together? Hey, it looks like I'm alone. Okay, let's see the chat box. Yes, we are there. Excellent, Aisha. It's like it's just the ladies that are here. Oh. Ladies like Hudson's. All right. So we can now do the magic. How do you cite? If you haven't cited before, please make sure that you go to your style. You click the style you want. Say I want Vancouver, regular Vancouver. I just want to show you how that works. Regular Vancouver, right? So I take the cursor, it should be blinking exactly at after the full stop of where I want to work with, or where I want to cite. Oh, we are still here, Abiodun. Oh, nice, nice, nice. Ejiro is here too. Philothea, welcome. I'm happy you're here. All right. So you go to the end of the statement that you want to, cite. Check in the comment section. I've downloaded Importer, but it's not syncing yet. Don't know why. I don't know why. If you've downloaded it, it should sync. Did you add the article? And when you finish adding the article, ensure that you click done. If you don't click done, it's not going to enter into your library. All right, so make sure your cursor is blinking where you want to insert the citation. Should be typically, particularly if you're using Vancouver superscript, is after the period, after the full stop. Okay. A shortcut that I often use is you look for Alt, ALT. There's an Alt key You have it on your right, you have it on your left. So the Alt key is just beside your space bar on your right and on your left for my own keyboard anyway. So you click on Alt and you click on M. If you click on Alt and M, it should bring up this bar for you that helps you to cite. But you don't have to do that. You can do it the old-fashioned way, insert citation. It does the same thing. But I almost never use this thing. So if you're just seeing me not click on this and you're seeing something pop up, I'm using Alt, A-L-T, and I'm clicking M. It's a shortcut for opening it. So as my cursor is blinking, I now want to search, I want to type, I want to cite someone. So I'll just guess. I actually want to use the references that we just generated, but I can't remember all of them. But anyhow, it's the same thing we are working with. Pneumonia. So let's look for one of the pneumonias I did. I have too many articles here. Okay, I think this Achibade was one of them. I'm not sure. Let's say I want to cite something WHO wrote somewhere. No, I don't want to put WHO. So I want to cite Nobody Knows Tomorrow. So you can type the name of the book or the article. You can type the name of the author. It will generally come out. So remember we did Nobody Knows Tomorrow. Yes, so this is here. You can put many. If you want to do 1 to 5, you can put 5 different, authors. Because sometimes you say, well, the prevalence of tuberculosis in children ranges from 1% in the temperate regions to 27.5% in lower middle income countries. So you want to, cite all those people in between the 1 and 27%. So you might have to cite it that way. So just keep entering them as much as you want. Say there was a Francis somewhere, or let me add this one. Then click OK or enter anyone. So this is how regular Vancouver comes out. We can change these things at the drop of a hat. Let's just continue. Another person we want to cite, I'm bringing the cursor to the end of the second paragraph. So you can insert your citation. Let's try this person. Just, the name of the book, the name of the author, the title of anything that comes to your mind that, will help you remember really. You can just put that in there. Okay. It doesn't have to be multiple people. It can just be one. And you click OK. So you have 1 to 3, you have 4. Let's come to the third paragraph again. Insert citation. Do Verma. Let's add someone else to Verma. Spinello. And okay. And let's add one last person to this last paragraph. Let's do this. Okay. Right? So this is the Vancouver method of citation, and it's perfectly fine. It's also allowed in medical sciences and pharmaceutical sciences. But we're going to change it, and I'll show you that you can just change these things easy peasy. But before we change that, let's add our references. Remember that I said there are 2 methods of citations. We have the in-text. This is the in-text citation that we've generated here. Then we have the bibliographic citation that usually comes from our references list. So how do we insert our citations? We insert bibliography, as simple as that. You can see it. So it's going to list themselves, they're going to list themselves according to the numbers that they were assigned. Okay, so this is how Vancouver works. If you're going to change it to the Vancouver superscript, you simply come here and click superscript, and it changes automatically. You can see it. So it's only the in-text citation that changes for Vancouver superscript. The parentheses disappear, and you now have your, superscript numbers. So back to that question. Okay, there's a question in the chat box. Superscript references. Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. I'm just trying to teach you everything. So whatever you want really. Someone else asked previously that the college wants some things italicized. It's usually they'll tell you they want the names of the journals italicized. One even told me they want the journal italicized and they want the volumes in bold. So you just have to check, through the references that you have. But it's still Vancouver. So I realized for my own particular one, I had to change it to Vancouver by Nature Publishing Group. So you can see how it changes the titles of the book and the um what do you call it? The article, the journal names. It changes it to, italics and it boldens the volume. So that's Nature Publishing Vancouver. It's still a Vancouver. You get. And the beauty of that is, see, our first reference here is Ajibade. The last one here is Kennedy. When you use a reference manager, definitely, when you submit your book, your supervisor is going to change things and say, oh, take this one to introduction. This one shouldn't be in introduction. This one should come down to maybe your discussion or something. So you change it, everything scatters. If you're going to be doing things manually, you will have to now start saying, this one that was 5 before is now 1. You now start changing. It is such a hassle. And it's so unnecessary, really. What do you do when you have to rearrange everything? You simply click refresh. And you can see the 5 to 6 is now 1 to 2. And the number here too has changed. And everything has rearranged itself. Okay? And for some of us too, who are more conversant with using, APA, the American Psychological Society as the association, you can change it. Just easy peasy, really. Once you've done the right thing, to now start showing you author name and date, author name and date, and your references will come out like the bibliographic section that I showed you. It will be alphabetically arranged. All right. So, after this, let's see if there's anything else. So, if you have any questions so far, please let me know. In comparison, comparing the two of them together, you can see that Zotero is those of you who were around for the Zotero class, you can see that Zotero is more open source, it was developed particularly for open source, it was not meant for profit, it wasn't meant to be something to make revenue from. But Mendeley, when they acquired it, after its initial independent development, it became something that was supposed to generate money. And I think that's why they went into the reference manager. But as I said, it wasn't quite very helpful for a lot of people. So Mendeley Desktop seems to be more effective. So while they were trying to, perfect their business plan, they made a lot of, changes, and it basically restricted collaboration, stressed a lot of people out. But the thing they have going for them is that they have 2 gig of cloud storage. So you can actually download PDFs, and it's really nifty for that. It also offers, more structured customer support compared with Zotero. But Zotero has, smaller cloud storage, but it's particularly its Zotero connector. It's really, really fantastic. And you can use Zotero on different devices. You can use it on Microsoft Word, LibreOffice, Google Docs, so long as you're able to work online. You can export your references from Mendeley into Zotero as well. So Zotero, as I said before, is for those who like the easy life. Mendeley is for those who like hard things. So for those of us who watch football, which of these football teams are you going to liken Mendeley to? Which one are you liken Zotero to? I want to see your comments in the chat box. Or should I use the African teams that are trying to qualify for the World Cup, for the FIFA World Cup tournament? I want to see your comments. So, which one is Mendeley? Which of these teams is Mendeley? Which one is Zotero? From the little that we've discussed so far. All right, so we've come to the end of our presentation, but I really want to see your comments. Thank you so much for being champions, for persisting with me. Mind you is Mendeley. Mind you is Mendeley. Zotero is Chelsea. I'm Chelsea. I don't let people kill me. I did not say up Chelsea, I beg. All right, Osakwe, thank you. Samuel, thank you. Okay, I think I still have a question. Please come again about how to get the reference numbers to be superscript. Okay, I'll review that again. Up, who said all blues? Good. So it's only Mendeley. I said it's only Mendeley. It's only Manchester and Chelsea that are here. Those are the only fans you have here. Hmm? How about all these other teams? AC Milan, them uncle. I've Inter Milan. There's no Messi fan here. Philothea, I'm happy that you persisted to the end. Thank you, Elizabeth. All right. Um. Oh, Samuel, I'm so happy to hear this. I'm so happy to hear this. Mendeley can be quite stressful, honestly. Can be quite stressful. Ejiro, thank you too. So I'll review how to change the numbers to superscript again. Liverpool is Mendeley. Can Google Scholar be used for citing like Zotero and Mendeley? No. Google Scholar can only be used for short things, short stuff like PowerPoint, your PowerPoint presentations. You just want to populate your bibliography list at the end of the slides, or just at the bottom of like a footnote for each of your slides. Yeah, you can just use Google Scholar, but you can't. If you use it, you're going to be having to be moving them manually up and down once you have to rearrange anything. So thank you so much. Let's recap a little again, a little bit. All right. So I think I can close the slides now, but let me wait for questions. All right. So as I said, now we are back to American Psychological Association, which has the name and the date, right? We don't want name and date. We want it to go to Vancouver, just the regular Vancouver. We just click on this style, the small arrow by the style, and come to Vancouver and change it. And it becomes the parenthesis with the numbers. You don't want parenthesis with the numbers. You want to change it to superscript. Remember that we've already gotten our superscript from Add Styles under View. I think it was under View. So you come to Vancouver superscript, right? And it changes. And everything changes too. And if they say your supervisor says no, they want you to italicize all the titles of the books and the title of the journal names. You come to Nature's Publishing Group, Vancouver, and you can see everything has changed here. The journal articles have become italicized and the volumes have become boldened. So yeah, that's how it works. Okay, let's check the chat box for any more. Can you review how to use Google Scholar, Refman, and Web Importer to populate the library? Can you show us how to use Google Scholar for pub? So, for Dr. Onazi, I think you have to check the recording for that. It will take a bit of time. I wasn't intending to stop at 22, like 10:15. How to use Google Scholar, at least that isn't really much. Please, how do you add by dragging? Okay, drag and drop. Okay, you have to watch the recording for that. We spent so much time. The only one I'm going to address is okay or Dedo. Please, you have to forgive me. That's the only one I can address for now because it wasn't really part of the presentation and it's quite useful. So come to your browser, right? So come to your browser, type Google Scholar. I already have Google Scholar here. Then click on Google Scholar if you haven't found it. So let's say this is what you wanted to reference, right? Sorry, I made a mistake. Okay, so back to Google Scholar. So say I was looking for malaria in pregnancy and it comes out this way. You click the site. So when you click the site, you see what you want. Obviously, you're using, Vancouver likely. So just click on it and copy. So you come to say you had a PowerPoint presentation, you can just paste it at the bottom like that. But as I said, with this one, it's basically like citing manually. And sometimes it's not correct, but most times you can just work with it. So that's about it. I hope that has been helpful. So over to you, editor. I think I'm done. My work here is done. I hope you're still recording.
Thank you so much, Chief. Yes, we're still recording. We're going to make the recordings available to everyone. Thank you much to everyone who has stayed. Hope this has been productive and we've learned. Should put this into practice so we can get good at it. Thank you so much, Chief.
Thank
So with that, we've
you.
come
Have a
to the
lovely
end.
weekend. Thank you, Dr. Otedo. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I didn't, Dr. Drew, I don't think I'm patient, sir. I don't think I'm patient, honestly. But this has been eye-opening. Thank you very much. All right. Good night, everyone. Have a delightful weekend. Bye.